Hey guys, PDT here. Yeah, I am recording this stupidly late, as I have done previously. It's 11:15, which, given that I've been staying up till like 3 a.m. recently, is not too bad. But I was up like 9 o'clock this morning, and I had no sleep. Well, not no sleep. I had about 4 hours sleep, I think, in the end. Partly because I had been staying up till 3 a.m. the night before, so I was just not tired, and also because it's my season again. It turns out, pretty much once a year, well, pretty much every year, sort of as soon as it starts going cold, we start seeing them. And yeah, so I was just sat in my bed trying to get to sleep. Turn the light on, look up, let's go scurrying along there. That's always fun. So I've had a bit of a tidy up this evening, just because I always feel kind of responsible. I know that that's not how it works, but there is usually stuff in here that they could scavenge on because I eat in here and things. So I just had a bit of a tidy up. Anyway, what I was going to talk to you about this evening was Dungeons and Dragons, because that was the reason I was out today. Dungeons and Dragons recording? No, we didn't record it, and probably just as well. But it was really good fun. It's nice. It's kind of a beginners-ish group. There's a couple of people there who have played it quite a lot, and obviously the DM has. But the other four of us, just very much new or newish. So, we're playing 5th edition, which my understanding is that it's the edition that, made it a lot easier for people. And here, in all of its glory, is my character sheet. Now, the DM, Matt, he went and printed off ones after we filled them in. Gotta say, he spelt that wrong. It should be Terence with an A, because of course Terence Axelrod, really transparent naming, named after Terence Dix and Robert Axelrod, both of whom are dead, as I nearly was today. Not me, but my character. Apparently you've got to make that distinction or people get worried. Yes, so I'm playing a wizard half-elf. I'm a sage. And chaotic good alignment, because I've got Fallout 3 for the evil stuff. So where to start? I mean, actually, it's all fairly. I've got some nice stats. Check out those stats, guys. Ooh, yeah, means nothing. But just in terms of what. My background is researcher, my feat is observant, and here are my spells. I've got Firebolt, Mending, Minor Illusion, I've learned Dancing Light today, Magic Missile, Sleep, Disguise Self, Detect Magic, Shield, Find Familiar. I have now found my familiar. My familiar is a golden retriever called Cosmo. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be useless and it'll probably be dead within my day, but I found my familiar. Unseen Servant and Tasha's Hideous Laughter. And I mainly got that one because the Warlock on our team, it was proven really useful for her, so I was like, I'll nick that. But now the DM's told us that since that's her main tactic, he's now making a lot of the new NPCs and things have quite high wisdom saving throws. I don't know what a wisdom saving throw is, but apparently it means that it's a lot harder to just immediately demobilize them with hideous laughter. Shit. Used up a spell slot. Never mind. What is perhaps more interesting, I hope, because that's just dry fact, is the character story that I wrote for Terence Axelrod. Terence Axelrod, Professor Axelrod to his parent. No, already muffed it up. Professor Axelrod to his students never knew his parents. He was left on the doorstep of Highcraft University as an infant and found by the university's librarian, a kindly and humble man who raised him as his own. Because everyone's orphans in D&D, apparently. because I was like, yeah, I'll give myself this backstory. And then in the first meeting, I was like, oh, I know I'm an orphan. And they're like, yeah, we're all orphans, mate. We're all orphans. You're not special. Starting school, Terence found he had a natural aptitude for the work, but not so much of one for friendship. Being a half-elf, he was viewed with suspicion and even fear by the other children. As a result, he spent a lot of the time in the library, reading textbook after textbook. He became particularly fascinated by the magic and arcana section, because wizard in it. And by the time he was a teenager, he was a very capable, if lonely, apprentice wizard. As his peers grew and became more informed about the world, he was able to make some good friends, impressing them with his party tricks. Terence was easily led, however, and one fateful night in the woods, his friends were challenging him to perform bigger and bigger spells. Ever eager to please, Terence obliged, and managed to petrify both his friends and a small section of the forest. The university's wizards were able to restore his friends, who no longer wanted anything to do with him, but that section of forest remains petrified to this day, and Terence learned, not for the last time, that getting too close to people always ends in tragedy. Yeah, I'm a dark and brooding loner. Terence continued to study, albeit under a more watchful set of eyes than before. He began teaching ancient history and became a liked and respected member of the faculty. He even fell in love for a time with Beth, a local school teacher. But as time passed, the difference in their lifespans became more and more pronounced. While Beth reached middle age, Terence was still a young man, because half-elf. In it. They split, and a part of him sealed himself off permanently. Though he still got on well with people, he made it a policy to politely, yet firmly, decline their advances towards friendship. I've kind of not followed this through in the actual character, but never mind. Focusing on quiet study in his alone time. That way nobody, least of all himself, would get hurt again. There was one man who failed to take the hint. Edmund Blackfoot, a fellow professor in the department, would frequently drop in under the pretence of asking for advice or the like, and slowly the two became firm friends. But upon his return from a recent journey south, Blackfoot's visits stopped. He became paranoid and secretive, and Terence could not help but take it personally. After several weeks, Edmund approached Terence, telling him he had something he needed to show him. In a decision he now regrets, Terence gave Edmund the cold shoulder, walking away. 2 nights later, Terence was awoken by a loud noise. On his dinner table, he found a small package. Small package. Yeah. Edmund's cloak wrapped around a small sealed box, every inch of which was covered in intricate carvings, and a note which simply read, "I'm so sorry. Trust no one. T." That probably should have said E, shouldn't it? Because, it's not from T, I'm T. Never mind, he didn't pick me up on it. He needs a proofreader. I am available. Terence rushed round to Edmund's house to find out what on earth was happening, only to find him not in. Bothered, but not unduly concerned, Terence set about examining the small box Edmund had given him. Over several days he tried everything he could possibly think of to open the box, from spells to tools to brute force, but nothing worked. I've basically ripped off Sharda there, the Doctor Who story. They've got this book, and they try doing stuff to it, and nothing, Anyway, the box seemed totally impervious to damage. He left it in the fire for hours, and it emerged without so much as a scorch mark. Pretty sure I've nicked that from something too. Whatever the box was, there was more to it than met the eye. Ripped that off from Transformers. Terence started to wonder how old the item was. Could that be why Edmund had left it with a professor of ancient history? See, I'm useful. He tried visiting Edmund again, but this time he discovered that Edmund's house was completely empty. Inquiring after Edmund with the Chancellor of the University, Terence was informed that he had handed in his notice, effective immediately, and left Highcraft for good. Could this really be true? Had Edmund really left everything behind without saying a word? And what of the mysterious box that couldn't be opened? Terence needed answers, and he wasn't going to find them at the university. All of this had begun with Edmund's trip down south, so Terence decided to start there. I mean, this was really just me trying to make sure that I was in the right place that we needed to be to start, because, he went south a few weeks ago. I'll just do that. I'll start south. Idiot. It's tenuous enough to work, just about. If he could retrace Edmund's steps and find out where he'd been, he might be able to discover what had happened to him then. He might be able to discover what had happened to him then, what's happened to him now, and where this box came from. Consulting a map, Terence packed a bag and headed out. First stop, Bearside. See, that's my just off the cuff backstory. So there we go. That's killing some time, isn't it? It's been 10 minutes now. How you doing? Anyway, yeah. So that's the setup for my character, and the DM's very good at sort of using people's backstories. So mine has come into play fairly quickly, actually. So the team makeup, there's me, a wizard. There's an Asmere warlock. There's an elf ranger, I want to say. I think he's just a thief. He's a cat. There's a bard. I can't remember what species he is. I'm so offensive. He's a bard, and then there's a paladin who's a Goliath. So nice kind of mix of people. I'm basically telling you this because Andrew Martin asked me, and I don't have enough viewers that I can just leave people's questions unanswered. Speaking of questions, by the way, Tom, if you're watching this, please remind me to ask some questions of you. Tom Mayhew, this is. Go to his channel, ask him some questions and shit. I don't know why I did that. Just do now. Not now. Watch the last 2 minutes of this video, because I'm just going to show you. So there's my notes from the first session, and I'll be honest, I started the second session today, not got a clue. Warden Willow, Summon Warden, Princess is missing, Golden Respite, Capital Hierarch, Mike trying to find his father's killers, Asimir Caitlin, blah 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 blah. I did forget that I had a potion, which came up would have been quite useful today, because we got attacked by a bunch of raiders, and I immediately took a scimitar to the knee, because they rolled a natural 20, so they got a critical hit. The card said, take a permanent injury to one of my limbs, so that was nice. Fortunately, the Asimir Warlock, she healed me up, and I'm fine now. Just about. I mean, my ego. It got weirdly intense because the Asimir Warlock, she seems to have some kind of deity contacting her in her sleep. And in the first session, this is what I was going on to. In the first session, the deity contacted her and said, "Ooh, that wizard bloke, he's got a box that I don't know what it is. You need to find that out. You need to investigate it." So she spent a lot of that first session trying to sort of grill me for information about something that I was not telling anyone that I had. And I spent a lot of that first session just getting increasingly annoyed and suspicious. Not me personally getting annoyed, but she's not. I don't. She's not the person I'm not quite clicking with. I mean, he was fine today, but anyway. So yeah, today's session it kind of started. We were in the town, and again, I'm just regaling D&D. I'm hoping that basically, I'm hoping Andrew enjoys this. The rest of you, fuck yes. No, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Yeah, I mean, it started. We were in the town, and it was like, okay, what are you guys going to do now? And I had planned to basically tail her to try and find out where she was, because she's part of some information network thing as well, because she somehow knows where that Edmund bloke went. because they keep telling her. And I'm like, okay. So I was going to tell her, but then she immediately pipes up, yeah, can I find out where he's going? And I want to follow him. So that didn't go anywhere. But yeah, then we got attacked by raiders. We had a bit of a heated conversation in which I was basically like, fuck off and stop asking questions. And she went, why don't you trust me? If you don't trust me, I can't trust you, or something. It was a whole thing. It was intense in the moment. Now it just seems like it's just a bit of role play in a library. We were in the library. Not sure that's going to work long term. They did tell us a couple of times to be quiet. So there's some quite loud voices on the team. I'm not one of them. Well, I probably am. Let's face it, I probably am. I can't hear it myself. I think I'm going a bit deaf. I'm struggling a bit with, like, if I'm in a room and there's people talking, and I'm like, yeah, I'm 35. I'm getting old. God, this is rambling. This is almost as bad as the initial draft, the uncut version of the Drag Race review from the other night. That was awful. It's not as bad as that. I am at least providing quality content for most of this video. Now I've just given up. This isn't anything, is it? Anyway. So yeah, at one point we got attacked by raiders, basically, and I got that scimitar to the knee, and then she came over and healed me, and then because I'd kind of, it's one of those things that I, like real life, I kind of had been playing over potential conversations in my head. I do that a lot. It's probably not healthy, but I sort of dwell on possible conversations I might be going to have. The important ones, not like, that'll be £5.60, please. Yeah, all right, here you go. Have I ever been to a shop? Yeah, so I always kind of figured it was probably going to end with me sort of revealing it all to her eventually. But after she saved me, and that was like, okay, this seems like a good enough reason for my character to trust her for now. Because she is good aligned, but yeah, I'm not sure about this voice. I still don't understand what that is. That's part of her backstory. We've not been necessarily told each other's backstories. But yeah, it's like, okay, I'll play along. And that was quite a sort of intense moment as well. Just the kind of, I did lighten it up with a bit of mild sex pestery. Not quite as bad as it sounds. No, I figured I'd got the box kind of strapped to my leg. So I was like, I've got something I need to show you. And so I undo my trousers, and then everyone starts laughing. I'm like, yeah, that landed. We'd already sort of alluded to the fact it was... No, she'd already done Detect Magic on it. She knew it was there, so it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to get my cock out. But the character was surprised. It's just a nice joke. Is that all right? Is that all right now? I don't know. I'm so tired. No, this can't be another one where I basically sit here going, I'm going to have a breakdown, because that's what I had to edit out of the RuPaul's Drag Race one. I feel like I can say that at 18 minutes in. Yeah, so it was an intense thing, and so I ended up dwelling on it, and in the end, I kind of... And I messaged the group on WhatsApp to kind of explain the character's thinking, after I'd sort of reasoned it to myself. Because I think he's someone who's led a very sheltered life, and suddenly he has this sort of near-death experience. I was on 2 hit points. I could have been a goner. I know that's not quite the end. You go unconscious, and then this saving. I probably would have been fine. But as far as the character's concerned, he was nearly dead. This is his first time on an adventure, really. He's not someone who's really done combat before. Then suddenly he's nearly dead, and it's like, well, I still don't entirely trust this warlock, but if it's a choice, I clearly can't do this on my own. And I don't know, I'm starting to think maybe all this reveals a lot more about me than I'd intended, but there we go. Yeah, he's like, I can't do this on my own. If it's a choice between possibly getting betrayed by this woman or, or just being killed on the road, I better do it. So, yeah, he's kind of made an alliance. And yeah, I don't know. I just hadn't expected it to be quite so, because I've seen that IT Crowd episode where it's all very serious and things, and yeah, I hadn't expected to get quite so moved, I guess, by it. I don't know if that's quite the right thing. It was interesting, and yeah, I'm looking forward to the next one. And this is where I'm kind of hoping that I get a job soon, because if I don't, I'm going to have to leave it behind. I don't think it's very much an in-person group. I don't think there's going to be, I don't know. But if I have to leave London in a few months, that's probably it for Terence. Anyway, I really need to go to bed because I'm meeting Emma from the internet in the morning. Emma, who sees all the films. Like, that's not normal, is it? Seeing some of the films, that's normal. Seeing all of the films, but yeah, she's doing the London Film Festival, and she's got like a 2-hour gap in a fortnight of screenings. So it's like, yeah, let's do brunch at Weatherspoons. So sorry, it's cheap. I'm unemployed. Please hire me. Please.